The air tasted like metal. Clara's breath hitched as the bailiff called his name, Daniel Mercer. Beside him, in the front row, sat Eleanor, his wife, the woman who once called her like a daughter, the woman who threw her out into the street, pregnant at 16. 10 years. 10 years of nightmares where she felt his hands, 10 years of flinching at perfume that smelled like Eleanor's, 10 years of rocking her son to sleep while whispering, "You are loved. You are safe. I will never leave you." And now, here they both were. The man who raped her 3, 4 times in the guest room of the house that was supposed to be her refuge. The woman who found out she was pregnant and called her a liar, a whore, a gold digger, then slammed the door in her face. Clara hadn't come for vengeance. She came because God whispered, "It's time." Now, seated just feet from them, she felt the old terror rise like floodwater. What if he smirks? What if she glares? What if I break? Her throat tightened. She closed her eyes and prayed. Clara had spent most of her adult life running from triggers, from church nurseries that reminded her of her own lonely pregnancy, from women who smiled too sweetly, like Eleanor once did. She tried to forget. She'd gone to trauma therapy. She'd journaled scriptures. She'd screamed into pillows and wept in showers. She'd even, once, written letters to both of them. To Daniel, "You stole my body." To Eleanor, "You stole my home." She burned them both. But peace? It always slipped through her fingers. She loved Jesus deeply, fiercely, but some nights, kneeling beside her toddler's crib, she'd whisper, "Why didn't you stop them, Lord? Why did you let me be so disposable?" Her faith wasn't dead. It was traumatized, like a bird with a broken wing still beating its heart against the cage of betrayal. She stopped trusting women easily, stopped attending baby showers, stopped believing safety was real. And yet, every morning, she kissed her son's forehead and whispered, "You are my redemption." Every Sunday, she still opened her Bible, still lit a candle, still whispered, "I'm here, God. Even if I don't understand you, I'm here." 3 months before the trial, Clara received 2 letters. One from him, one from her. Daniel's. "Clara, I'm dying. Stage 4 cancer. I've asked God, if He's real, to help me face what I did. I raped you. I took advantage of your trust. I'm sorry." Eleanor's. "I heard he's sick and that you might speak at the hearing. I never believed you back then, but I do now. I failed you. I'm sorry." Clara vomited after reading them. Then she burned them both. Then she cried for 3 days. Her therapist said, "You don't owe them closure." Her best friend said, "They don't deserve your tears." Her pastor said, "Forgiveness isn't for them, it's for you." But Clara felt nothing but rage wrapped in grief. Sorry? Now, when he's dying? When she's haunted? She stopped praying for weeks, stopped reading her Bible, stopped believing God cared about the shattered pieces of her violated, abandoned soul. It was a Tuesday. Rain tapping the window, coffee gone cold. Clara sat in the park, the same one she used to avoid because mothers pushing strollers reminded her of what she lost: the support, the care, the right to be held while she carried new life. She didn't plan to open her Bible, but her fingers found it anyway. And there in the margins of Psalm 147, she'd scribbled years ago in desperate ink, "He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds." She read it, then read it again. And then she felt it. Not a voice, not a vision, but a presence. Warm, close, tender. Like a father kneeling beside her in the dirt, gathering up every shattered shard of her violated, abandoned heart, whispering, "I never left you, daughter. Not in that guest room, not on that street, not in that delivery room alone. I carried you, and I'm still carrying you." She wept, not the angry, choking sobs of before, but deep, releasing, soul-cleansing tears. For the first time in years, she felt seen, not as a victim, not as damaged goods, but as his beloved, sacred, worthy, whole in his eyes, even when her body still remembered the rape and her heart still remembered the rejection. The night before the trial, Clara didn't sleep. She knelt by her bed, not in ritual, but in ruin. "God, I can't do this," she whispered, voice cracking. "I'm still so angry at him, at her. I don't want to forgive them. I don't want to be the good Christian girl who turns the other cheek. I want them to hurt. I want them to know what they stole." She buried her face in her hands. "I'm tired of pretending I'm okay. I'm tired of smiling through sermons. I'm tired of feeling like my rape, my pregnancy, my abandonment is too messy for your altar." Silence. Then, a quiet stirring in her spirit. Not an answer, an invitation. "Bring it all to me. The rage, the grief, the questions. Lay them down and let me carry what you cannot." She didn't feel fixed, but she felt held. And for the first time, she surrendered. Not her pain, but her right to hold onto it. She didn't plan to speak, but when the judge asked if any victims wished to address the court, her feet moved before her mind could stop them. She stood, voice shaking, hands trembling. I am Clara Reyes. Daniel Mercer raped me, repeatedly, in the home where I thought I was safe. His wife, Eleanor, found out I was pregnant, his child, and threw me out, called me a liar, left me alone. Gasps. Silence. She didn't look at them. I came here, not for justice, not for revenge, but because God asked me to come. She took a breath. And because I needed to say this. I forgive you, Daniel. I forgive you, Eleanor. Not because you deserve it, not because you're dying or haunted, but because I needed to be free. Free from the prison your sin and silence built inside of me. She turned, finally, and met their eyes. Daniel was weeping. Eleanor was shaking. And in that moment, something shifted. Not in the room, in her. The weight she'd carried for a decade began to lift. Clara didn't become an overnight inspiration. Healing wasn't linear, but she started a support group at her church, Sanctuary, for women betrayed, raped, and cast out. She began mentoring young mothers who'd been abandoned. She even, slowly, started trusting women again. Not all, but some. Daniel died 3 months after the trial. Eleanor sent flowers to his funeral and a note to Clara. Thank you for forgiving me. I don't deserve it, but I'll spend my life trying to be worthy of it. Clara didn't reply. She didn't need to. She was free. Clara still has hard days. Triggers still come. But now she knows. Forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's not excusing rape. It's not pretending betrayal didn't happen. It's releasing their power over her future, releasing the poison, releasing the prison. And in that release, she found something she never thought possible: peace. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 147, verse 3. Not all at once, not perfectly, but faithfully. One surrendered moment at a time. Father, thank you for meeting survivors in the ruins of violation and betrayal, for holding our rage, our tears, our trembling bodies, and broken trust. Help us, like Clara, to surrender what we cannot carry, to forgive, not because it's easy, but because you've already carried the heaviest weight for us. Bind up our wounds, heal our hearts, and lead us into freedom, body, soul, and spirit. If this story met you where you are, you're not alone. Like if it stirred your heart. Subscribe for more stories of grace in the grit, especially for survivors of rape, betrayal, and abandonment. Share with someone who needs to hear healing is possible. Forgiveness is freedom, even after the unthinkable. You are seen, you are sacred, and your story isn't over yet.